Hello. Hi. MJ, you're first. You're here. Welcome in. Come on. Get in here. What are you doing? I don't know what this hand motion is. I have been all over the place today getting things. Um, I went and scheduled a vaccine appointment this morning, and they said, "Can you come in today?" I'm like, "Sure, I can drop everything and come in today," which also means that if this goes south, I'm going to be completely floored yet tomorrow when it kicks in. But everything looks good. Everything looks good right now. We're gonna cross our fingers and say everything stays good. Um, I don't know anything about Canadian cuisine. Not one little bit, except for poutine. And I have made poutine before, and it was an embarrassment because I made bad gravy. I over thickened the gravy, so when I put it on the stuff, all the rest of the stuff, it looked a lot like, let's say it looked like chocolate soft serve ice cream, um, if you catch my drift. Oh, we're not doing that again. We're gonna do it proper. Also, I'm I had so many ideas, and as I was rambling around trying to get things, I had so many more ideas. So for our Thanksgiving poutine, I've also got cranberries, squash, and turkey tenders. It's going to be more than basic, more than basic. We do need to get rolling, and I got to remember we're test driving, taking process photos to put on Discord because when I had to cancel last week, I did the same thing I was going to have cooked. I just took process photos instead of doing a full-on stream, and people apparently really liked that. So we're going to try doing that along with the stream. We'll see if I get distracted and forget. Step one, slide over here. Step one, turkey neck. And our magic pot. We're gonna need. Yeah. Step one is turkey neck. We get it out of the packaging. I will immediately grab a starting photo of that. Now, I've had these turkey necks a while. I got them when they were on sale at the end of Thanksgiving last year and froze them because this is the perfect kind of thing to make a stock and thus a gravy out of. And there's no worry about them getting freezer burned because we're just going to cook them to death anyways. So we don't care about the texture at all. But that's turkey neck. A lot of connective tissue, little bits of meat. Every turkey's got one, and they don't know what to do with them. They used to put them in the giblets, but people get turkeys without giblets now. So they got a lot of extra bits. There are 4 of them in here. And we're just going to nestle them in. Throw away the goop. Wash my hands because this. Well, we're going to have to handle more raw turkey later, but short term, we won't have to handle more raw turkey. So. Oh, golly. I have had a hectic day. Also, it got really cold, and I haven't put my furnace on yet. Liz, hi. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. I don't know why I said it like that, but I did. I'm going to zhuzh up our turkey necks with a little onion. Interestingly, red onion was on sale. So now and I stocked up. So we're going to have these sort of medium to small sized red onions for a while. I'm going to leave the outer paper on. We're just going to take the rootiest bit of the root, and anything that lets go naturally. Because the papery outer layers of the onion, although their texture is obviously paper, they have a lot of onion flavor in them, so there. And we're just gonna nestle those guys in there, and then my efforts to make this as pumped up turkey as possible, I got a pre-made store-bought turkey stock. Now these are always quite bland. Using it as your stock is fine as a base for things, but you want to zhuzh it up. In this case, it should give us some extra oomph in our turkey. And I'm going for, we'll go for a cup and a half. It only needs a cup, and I only need a cup at the end, but we'll overshoot a little bit to hedge our bets so that we don't run short, because I have a second trick to add to our turkeyness as we attempt to amp up our turkey. We'll hang on to that. I will take another photo. Let me know if me taking photos is bothersome at all, and I will rethink about it. We're doing the pressure cook to get that really cooked down. Let's give it, they're pretty skinny. Let's give it 20 minutes so they really disintegrate. How's it going, folks? Let's get our first. Oh, MJ, you weren't in my Discord. Welcome in. Get some interesting angles on stuff. That's going to run for 20 minutes. Those they're so skinny that they should cook completely through and disintegrate. Oh no, I don't delete anything unless it's like wildly offensive. Your shame is stuck there. Congratulations. The second part, these. I'm not sure what I'm going to find when I open this up, so we're gonna do it together. It feels like it's packed in water, so we're gonna split it over the sink just to ensure that it doesn't goosh poultry juice everywhere. So I'll be right back with that. There we go. Oop, yep. Ugh. And I dropped it just a little bit. Okay, we don't need 2 of them. But we do want 1 of them. These were listed as turkey breast tenderloin, which I disagree. And they are packed in some kind of a juice. So they're very wet. And there was a lot of juice in there, so I'm glad I opened it over the sink, otherwise we'd have a mess. But I want to get these guys in some buttermilk. Well, 1 of them. We're actually only going to use 1 of them today. Wash my hands real fast. Should have gotten a bag out beforehand. Turkeys are very large to begin with. This is a small component. Breast loin. Breast loin, you know. Breast loin. Definitely the same part, for sure. Okay, wash my hands so that 1 of these guys can go in the bag, because we only need 1 of them. I'm going to say that we use... Which one do you think we should use? Excuse me. Which one do we think I should use? I think we're using the first one, the one on the left. Okay, that guy goes in there. Try sealing the bag one-handed so that I don't touch the outside of the bag with my gross turkey hand. And I'm just going to refrigerate that. It'll be fine for however long it takes me to figure out what else to do with it. If they've both been frozen, they both need to be cooked before refreezing. I've never heard that. So as far as I'm concerned, no. What happens with freezing and unfreezing and refreezing meats is that every time it's... I gotta get that membrane off of there. That does not look like it's going to be tasty. Every time it's not frozen, well, first of all, you understand how meat, in general, starts to spoil pretty much as soon as the animal's dead. Freezing it pauses that process. It does not reset it, it pauses it. So when you unfreeze it, it resumes from where it left off, unless you're going for like some really crazy industrial super cold that manages to actually kill the microbes. So every time you thaw and freeze a piece of meat, you are adding to that time before it's bad. Or you're subtracting from that time before it's gone bad. And for meats that you get from the grocery store frozen, I should not have been using this wooden handled knife for poultry. I just realized I should be using the all steel slicer because the handle's easier to clean. For meats that you're getting from the grocery store, they've already been through freeze and thaw cycles probably a couple of times before you ever got to them. So you have no idea how much time is they've actually spent unfrozen. The estimates of used by this date are just estimates. Oh, there's a big thingy in there too. So the logic of once you unfreeze it, make sure you cook it before you refreeze it, probably stems from just the danger, the general danger for any raw meat. Because also, freezing is not instantaneous, and thawing is not instantaneous. So it spends a bunch of time in those transitionary periods that, once again, subtracts from its freshness, total freshness time. These are all really fat on that one end, and but I wanted long pieces. So generally, yes, if you unfreeze meat at home, you should use it, not refreeze it, because by the time you refreeze it and then rethaw it next time, it will have added or subtracted hours from its total lifespan. Okay, so what I'm making here are tenders. I bought tenderloin because I wanted to make tenders. And I'm thinking I almost want to just trim down this really fat end here to make these strips a little bit more even. We have a good sharp knife. Someone asked me once about recommendations for knives. And I didn't say I had any particular loyalty to any brands, and I still don't. But these Sabatier knives have been quite good, and for meats especially, I like having either an enameled or an all metal, or an all plastic, I suppose, handle, because it's much easier to clean this chicken or goop. We got 2 little nuggets, and we got 6 good strips. I have to wash my hands again. May as well move this over with me, since I shan't need it. Oh gosh, I've got to preheat the oven too. There's so many things I got to do today. Oh, I gotta get the cranberries will be easy. There. Ah. A bag. Preheat the oven now while I'm thinking of it. Make sure there's nothing in there. There's a pizza stone in there. Oh. So how's everyone else celebrating this holiday? It's actually 2 holidays. Canadian Thanksgiving and Indigenous Peoples Day. And was it last year? Or was it the year before? I forget. I had an Indigenous Peoples Day show once before. And what I did that day, the pressure cooker is making all sorts of noises, which is why I just stopped and looked at it. You doing okay there, bud? Um, what I did for Indigenous Peoples Day before was I made a pizza, but I made it entirely out of American native ingredients, which fortunately we got to use tomatoes because tomatoes are from the Americas. Um, okay, I should have gotten this bag out before because I'm going to touch the meat immediately again. I guess the pressure cooker's doing fine because it just said we're up to pressure. Okay, we're putting the guys in the bag. And the little nuggets. And that should be the last I need to touch raw poultry for several minutes. So let me clean that down, wash my hands. As always, we're handling a lot of poultry, so there's a lot of washing, which is unavoidable unless you use lots of gloves. And even then, I would probably wash my hands in between. I'm going to stop here, stop cooking here for a moment, and just wash everything. Oop. Still soap on it. All right. That's 3 knives already. Dang. Oh. Okay, everything's washed. Hands are dried. This should be wiped down with a paper towel so it's not wet. Okay, and we're back. Take a picture of these. And with the buttermilk, we're doing a shake well. The buttermilk was on sale and it's used by today, so we're using it today. The packaging is terrible. The lid just seems to be faulty, possibly why it's in the discount. The ring part is not working correctly. Okay, enough buttermilk to really immerse Am I going to flavor this part? No, I don't think I'm going to flavor the buttermilk. I think we'll be fine. Okay. Get that all mushed up in there. Wow, you can really see the fibers in the meat. Turkey certainly has more texture to it than chicken. I'm going to put that in the fridge, and then we're going to get to that much later on. Much later on. Okay. Okay. Return to this. Get distracted posting. Can't spell. We've got. Oh no, I want the cranberries next. Cranberry. It's very easy. In fact, the recipe for cranberry sauce is right there on the package. 3 cups of cranberries, which is this package. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water. So, cranberry, 1 cup. Of water. Let's do the sugar first. So, what I have here, not in its original packaging, is maple sugar. I got this, I think I got this for our Indigenous Peoples Day in the past because sugar maples are from the Americas, but sugar cane, so white sugar, is not. Or at least I think that's why I got it. Thus, we needed it for whatever I made that day. Pizza? In this case, maple is also stereotypically, I can't just pour it out, very Canadian. So it is going to be all of the sugar that goes in here. Also because I've needed an excuse to use this stuff. I've had it for ages and I just never use it. So we're going to have maple cranberries. Cranberries. Let's do that on the back corner burner so I can use the front burner for other things as needed. Let's grab a picture. I want it to bring to a boil, so we're gonna go like the high end of medium high. So I'm trying to get like more elements of Thanksgiving into our poutine than you normally would encounter. I definitely find myself stopping whenever I post one of the process photos. Do I want, now this is going to be a topping cranberry sauce. So I'm gonna pull out one of my dehydrated oranges here, or two. So I got oranges at some point out of the discount bin and had no way to go through them all. So I sliced them up and dehydrated them, which lets us add an infusion of orange into things down the line. I think that will play well in that mix. Close up the maple sugar. Now, I kind of want to try making French fries in the Magic Pot. Magic Pot French fries should work, but also, I picked this thing up. This is a delicata. It's a squash, there's going to be seeds and stuff in the middle. The skin on a delicata is delicate, which means when you cook it, you can eat it. It's not so tough that you have to peel it like you would with a butternut or an acorn, one of those things. Although I think you can eat acorn, it's just kind of tough. Butternut's definitely like plasticky. You got to get it off of there. You can eat the skins on these guys, so they're very nice. And I kind of want to make the fries part of our poutine a mix of potato and squash. So we're going to break into this sucker. Take the stem part off. And I think I'm going to take the little bud off the bottom as well. We do have to get it open because it's got those guys in the middle, the seeds, which we are not planning on eating. Although the seed cavity is pretty skinny, so we're not losing much of it by scraping the seeds out either. Oh, that's the cranberries starting to pop. I heard a popping sound and I was worried for a moment that it was the pressure cooker popping, which does not sound like it would be a good time. But no, it's the cranberries. They're starting to do popcorn or pop berry. Okay, making you guys hungry. Good. That's the plan. It's a feasting day. Thanksgiving is a feasting holiday. If you're not hungry, then we're doing it wrong. Well, start out hungry and then you get full up by eating Thanksgiving. Also, we have some new emotes here in the channel, courtesy of WeFormer, who insisted on making emotes. I was helpless. I was helpless to stop her. Yeah, get rid of the goop. Get rid of the goop. Let's return to our cranberries for a moment. Return over to our cranberries. Oops. For a moment. Because they're popping and spitting, and that means I gotta push them around a little bit. Also because I want to get those oranges down in there so they can infuse. It also just occurred to me that I have some frozen raspberries, and I'm going to take a handful. Oh, you guys can barely see those. Move them over to your side so you can at least look at them. Actually, I don't think I'm doing anything with this front burner for a while, so they can just actually be on the front burner. I'm going to take a handful of frozen raspberries and chuck them in there. Make our cranberry sauce a little bit more berry. Is that dark? Looks especially dark today. There you go. Now you can see stuff. Now you can see stuff. Oh, mixed berries. That's right. I forgot I did that. I had frozen different kinds of berries, and I just mixed them together. So there's also some blueberries in there. So we're going to have mixed berry edition. Not a ton. I don't want to overshadow the cranberry. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Use things up here. Gotta use things up here. That's back to a boil. We will bring it down. I want to simmer it. Much like popcorn, the outer skin of a cranberry is watertight, and it contains water. They float because they're less dense on the inside, but the water that's inside of them will still boil, and then it's trapped in this little watertight envelope, so it boils and expands until the thing pops, which causes them to, burst and break down. Which is how you just turn a bunch of cranberries and some water and some sweet water into a sauce. It's literally that simple. You need the sugar, however, because if you've ever had unsweetened cranberries, they are incredibly sour. They absolutely need sugar. And I'm going to give them just a pinch of salt as well. Okay, that can simmer away. While we deal with our squash. I don't want to break you guys, so you better let go. I picked a particularly long and narrow one of these in the hopes that I would get these nice little arches. And I have done so. They're usually a bit more lozenge shaped and less sort of long than this. Chuck those guys in a bowl. Don't really want to use these end cap pieces. I want the half moons. Ooh, I can really smell the raspberries. Interesting. I only added a little bit of them. I'm also really hungry today, and I'm not sure why, because I had quite a substantial lunch. But then I've been running around since then, so maybe I just burned it all off. Or maybe the vaccines are giving me some weird side effect. Who knows? Certainly not me. I don't know anything. I don't know why you people listen to me. Why do you people listen to me? I don't know anything. I did not take a process photo. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, that's been 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes already. Wow. Oh, boy, the time is flying. A lot to do. I guess we release the pressure. There it goes. Ooh, it smells like turkey. Which I suppose is good because that's pretty much all that's in there is turkey. And the main element I want from it is the juice, the drippings. We're going to probably get a little bit of meat off of it as well, because I want to sort of do a sprinkle. But the reason I got the tenders is they're the main meat element, even though poutine doesn't have meat, but I wanted a main meat element to this. This stuff needs to be oiled. Which is why I put it in a bowl. And we're going parchment. Beep, beep, beep. Pressure's released. We can take a look at those turkey parts. I got to get that out of there because I need to clean the pot. So we can't afford a long wait. But I also want to get these guys on the go. I'm not seasoning them now. We will season them because they're going to get seasoned at the end. Sizen! Hi, welcome. Yes, I'm making stuff up. Because it turns out I don't know anything about Canadian cuisine other than poutine, which I'm sure is offensive. Jay's not here to defend himself, so... yeah, we've done a million things already, and we've got a million more things to go. We have cranberry sauce on the go. The turkey necks just beeped at us. Saizan wants a moisten. My water glass is in the other room. God. God. I'm trying to keep up with the process photos this time because people apparently quite enjoyed that last time. Moist. Get my camera ready. We will. Those guys, they're going in the oven. I don't know how long. Oh, turkey necks. Turkey. Oh my God, there's so much turkey. Yeah, okay. The in-oven shot went real blurry, so that one's not gonna get done. Okay. We vented our turkey necks. We gotta get them out of there. We want your delicious juices. That thing is heat resistant. Oops. I feel slightly distracted. Okay. I don't need the necks right away. Actually, what I need right away most of all is the pot, which is too hot to handle. But I want to separate the necks, the juice, and the pot from each other. Because they each need to go different places. And the onions, I suppose. Although these onions, yeah, aren't going to be worth doing anything with. They're essentially mush. Anything that they were going to give up, they've given up into our juice. So I will start by extracting our onions. And we'll just get rid of them straight away. Begone, onion. Okay. The necks, oh, they're a little sturdier than I thought they might be. Oh. Definitely still ready to fall apart, but not like immediately disintegrating, which I suppose is good. It means I can pick them up with the tongs without a fight. Because ideally I would like no chunks in my juice until I add them specifically. Okay, actually, I don't think I necessarily even need... Let's see how much juice I got. I don't think I need to pour that in there even. I can just pour it directly into a heat-proof measuring cup. No plastic here. We're using glass. And I am also going to do this over the sink, just in case. So, it's also a good test to see actually how much liquid we lose to the process. Okay, that pot needs to cool off enough that I can clean it out. I put a cup and a half of original stock in there, and we lost 1/8-ish of a cup of liquid to the process. So our survival rate is quite good. Join me over here for a moment. These guys need a stir. Make sure we're not sticking them to the bottom. And probably a taste just for, you know, consistency's sake. Let's give it a little taster. See how we're doing. The color's very nice. Sour, sweet, cranberry. I'm not getting a ton of maple. And to that end, I am going to actually add a dab of maple extract. See if we can't amp that up a little bit. Cranberry is a very strong flavor, so that should not overwhelm the cranberry. Our turkey stock looks much nicer, well, darker, than the stuff that came right out of the box. Oh, what? I didn't take that photo correctly. My little phone camera does not like the lighting in here. Okay. So my other hack, so we've done one hack where instead of water we used store-bought turkey stock. My other hack for turkey gravy is this. It is instant turkey gravy. It calls for water. And what we're doing is, that's my water. So we should have all of that turkey flavor infused in here, and all I really need out of this is the thickeners, which is the fiddly part, in my opinion, for doing gravies. And since I got so many other things, cranberries have to move because I know what that front burner needs to be, and it's going to be, oh my God, it's going to be oil again. Guess what? We're doing a fry. So we'll follow the directions. We need a small saucepan. Into which we add this stuff, which should just be a white powder, yeah. Blend in, so pour in 7/8 of a cup of water, which is Such a bizarre measurement. Why not just put in a slightly more stuff in the packet and make it 1 cup? 7/8 of a cup is 7 tablespoons. Bizarre. I can't even measure that properly. Ugh. Cripe. No, I'm not doing that. We're pouring in until I've got just a half a cup left in the there. Oops. I moved those. I moved all those, and now I keep getting confused. That's going on the back burner. We're going to get the plastic whisk. Whisk it together. Now, the modified food starch in that instant mix should do what it was designed to do. And when cooked, thicken this up. And the thing says just add more liquid if you want it thinner. So we can, since I have extra turkey stock, we can now customize our thickness to get a good gravy. A cheated gravy. I'm a dirty cheater. I need to get some oil on the go, which is a whole nother thing. Yep, it's happening again. It's happening again already. Deep fry. Deep fry. Which means we need the oil thermometer. And the heat. Okay. I just look like a black pan to you. Oops. I think I had it on low. I had my spatula on the burner, and I turned that burner on, but just on low, so it wasn't destroying it, but it certainly wasn't good for it. Bookwoman. Welcome. Yes. New emojis. New emotes, courtesy of WeFormer. That is actually coming along quite well. We need this bowl again. We want some potatoes in here. Boy, using modified food starch as a cheat to make gravy is such a good cheat. Let's leave the whisk there. We're back over here while the oil heats up. We need to cut some potato. Squeak. Potato. Potato. Once the, oh, it's already cool enough. Okay. Hold. Hold on the potato. We scrub out the pot real quick because we're going to need it in a sec. It'd be really neat if I could find a second pot that fit this magic pot. The inner pot. They probably sell it as an accessory. So that if I want to do two things like this, I don't have to scrub one out in between. I've nixed a few recipes along the way because they would both want the pot. We're going to blast it with the air fryer for literally just a minute to dry the interior out. Oops, I turned it off. Oh well. We're just going to leave it open so that it can dry the interior off. Hi, Bookwoman. Welcome in. We're back to the potatoes. How's it going? What's up? I already talked to you today, so I kind of know what's up. But it's, you know, a courtesy to ask what's up. Yeah, our internet's been okay today, and I'm wondering if it was the Friday effect, because we kind of stream at the time when everyone's getting home from work, and I wonder if it's just that I keep running into. Do I want to do two potatoes? Maybe I want to do a smaller second potato. That the system's clogged up. But hi, welcome. We have lost a few frames, it looks like, but not nearly as bad as it was. Those guys actually don't want to be in there right now. They want to be in here right now. Walnut sauce pasta. I have heard of such a thing. Never tried it. Walnuts are supposed to be a stand-in for like a protein in something like that. Well, they are a protein, but stand-in for a meat. Typically. But they give such an interesting different flavor. I love walnuts, by the way. Walnut, best nut. I did not skin the potatoes. We are leaving them with the peels this time. What I'm going to go do is once again over to the sink. Rinse the whole lot of them off with cold water. We don't really have the... I did not give myself the time for a proper, like, soak. To de-starchify them. So I'm just going with a rinse instead. Have I forgotten to take any process photos? Yes, several. They need to dry out before we can do anything with them. I hope this isn't distracting. It feels like I keep getting just like I'm diverting away. They need to be very dry. Nope, it's just a puddle. Should probably take a peek at our squash pretty soon too. Ah. So if you don't dry off your potatoes before you fry them, or in this case we're going to attempt an air fry, they will not have any chance of getting a crispy exterior. And ideally you want to soak them before you do this, because soaking them really gets that starch off the outside that also inhibits crispiness. But I did not give myself the time for that because I'm a fool. There's one more. And I also am a fool for putting water in the bowl with the oil from the squash when I was just gonna. I was intending to use it again to oil the potatoes. More oil. That's the end of that bottle of olive oil, which once again, I mentioned this when I first opened it. Four Seasons, get a better cap. Your olive oil is inexpensive and merely okay, but the cap is profoundly frustrating to use. Okay. Get them oiled up. We need the air frying insert. bring the thing back over. Set aside my extra turkey stock. These guys, they need to go in here, and they need to not be super crowded. There might be just a tiny bit too many of them. And we don't want to fry them too far in advance either, or they'll be gross by the time we want to use them. Our cranberries have lost most of their volume. So this is going to wait for me to need it. But I'll take a picture of it now. Oh boy. This may be too much of a thing for my first attempt at doing process photos. Some of my cranberries have also not burst and are just hanging out in here whole. That needs some more water because I overdid it a little bit. I want the syrupy part especially. Okay. Okay. Where are we? What are we doing? Who are you people? How did you get in here? Okay, our oil is heating up. Make sure we don't overshoot the oil while I'm distracted. We need to take a peek. Okay, how's the gravy looking? The gravy looks good. We might even take them up on the offer to thin it out a little bit, but it's looking good. Doesn't need to live on the stove anymore. That one's off. That one, this one can be off. We need to take a peek at the squash. Ooh, I'm gonna flip them. They look pretty good. Oh yeah, they got a good color on the other side. Well, a couple of them got too much color on the other side. Okay, the skinnier ones are looking a little over. The fatter ones are looking nice. Oh, come on. Just that one refuses to flip. Come on. Honestly, we probably could have done the potatoes at the same time, but I really want to try the air fry potatoes. I've been told that the air fryer makes a decent French fry from raw potato. So I want to give that oh, come on. Every time I drop one of them, it lands back on the side I picked it up from instead of the other side. Okay. Flipped. They're looking like they've got a nice sort of crispy color going on. There's clearly a hot spot in my oven over here. So let's turn them around so that doesn't get hot spotted anymore. Okay, I don't know how long those have been in. I was not paying attention. Our oil's at 350, which means we need to address the turkey strips. And if we're addressing the turkey strips, then we need to start air frying the potatoes for their first round. I did look up a guide, and I'm not directly following it right now, but hey, close enough. Okay. Come over here. We need a penne station. We have our buttermilked turkeys. We have our penne station. There's only 6 of them, so we probably get away with just 1 egg and maybe a tiny splash of buttermilk to sort of thicken it up. Where did I put that buttermilk? There it is. Some egg, some buttermilk. I want these good and crispy. Two scoops of flour. But the outer layer is going to be something different. Do I have potato starch up here? I do. We could use potato starch. I kind of want, and I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Instant mashed potatoes. To be my outer skin here. Because they're like flaked. I don't know how well you can see that texture. They're like flaked. They're not just a powder. You're curious how this will become a poutine? Poutine's like a state of mind. Make sure I'm not overshooting my oil, which I definitely am. Adding some potato starch to the front end. And we are adding some powdered flavors to the back end. That's garlic powder, onion powder, and thyme, and some black pepper. Don't know how well any of that's going to come through. Whisk up this middle bit with tiny whisk. Hello? Tiny whisk. I request your services. Okay, 5 minutes on the first round of the French fries. Means we need to toss them. My oil is overheating. We got to start this now. So, we're going to take a picture, but I'm not going to post it because I don't have time. That needs to get mixed together. And that needs to get mixed together. Okay. If we don't do this now, it's not getting done. Not the little short one. I want one of the long ones to start. Okay. Out of the buttermilk. Start with 2 of them. I did not do wet hand, dry hand. Okay. Flour. Egg. Instant mashed potato. And in the hot oil it goes, the oil being on the verge of overheating, so we have to do this real fast. Did one for you guys, I'm just going to do the rest real quick back here. If your oil's too hot, the best way to bring it down is to put something in it. Okay. I definitely lost track of time, or of pacing on this one. Not time, pacing. We're just gonna completely kill that. Paper towels. Okay. Okay. Okay, little nuggets. Goop off my hand. Okay. Ooh, sorry, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. We're losing it. Get these guys floured up. Get them egged up. Get them potatoed up. I can bring the oil temperature back up a little bit. We're looking for golden brown and delicious. Ideally. That guy's probably there. You stop flipping over. Okay, we're putting in the two little nugget pieces. We should probably check on our squash real quick. Make sure I haven't burned it. It reminded me because the oven clicked. Okay, let's get that cooked one out of there. The potatoes need to be shaken vigorously. And hit with another 5 minutes. The squash needs to be looked at. I think we're going to say the squash is done, because they sure look done. They kind of skate around in a very, like, I'm done sort of way. So we're going to put those guys to the side, because the worktop here is occupied with Wall Street. Okay, get them beasties. Get those beasts flipped and flour up, bread up the remainder. I must say, I like the look of the potato flakes. in the finished results there. I hope that they have a good eating texture. They have an excellent look to them, though. Which was my first concern, was that they would just not adhere or something. But they seem like they're working well, so... We have just barely enough egg for this, so I would say, for those of you following along at home, which I know you are, you always do, oh, that's hot. A wee bit more egg. That pan is very, very hot. That's unfortunate for me. Okay. Did I burn myself? Possibly. Possibly. Oh boy. How you guys looking? Pretty good? Pretty okay? Kinda okay-ish. Okay, I need to get those squashes off of their pan so that I can just get rid of the pan. Okay. Let me grab a photo, since I think I have a second of breathing. I'll post that later. Okay. Our oil temp is actually low now from me aggressively frying stuff, so I'm going to let it come up before I move on. The oven's off, the burners are off, that burner's off. The squash. Let's taste a piece. Boy, and all that's on that is some olive oil. It's a good squash. Delicata, I think, is an underappreciated squash in general. Because you can eat the skin, so it's way easier than most squashes. Where's my pot holder? We gotta shake our fries again. And we just keep doing that in 5-minute increments until they're fries. And ideally, serve them pretty much immediately. Let's see, I don't need the buttermilk stuff anymore. Okay. Woo! I definitely took too many things. Too many things today. Squashes and potatoes are going to mix together once the potatoes are good. What plate am I going to do? Start thinking about your plating before you absolutely need it. Keep an eye on your oil as well, which is now back up to frying temperature. So we will resume there. When you're putting something in fry oil like this, that's floppy, drape it in away from yourself, so that if you do slip and splash, which I've done many times, it slips and splashes away instead of towards. Okay, that pan is no longer so hot that I can't touch it. I guess I'm just going to pull the squash into a staging bowl until I need them. They came out nice and crispy, or at least firm and golden brown, which is good. I want that. I want that. That pan is no longer blazing hot, but it's going to be because I'm going to put it back in the oven, because that's a good place to store it. Okay. This time they all kind of sank, but let's roll them over anyways. Make sure they're getting done on both sides. We also are overheating our oil again, so we'll bring that down. One of the reasons not to deep fry at home is managing the oil temperature is a constant battle. Oh, and there are lumps in there. There are. I don't want the lumps. I think I'm going to try to use some of the remaining mashed potato. To make some mashed potato? Sounds good? Sounds good. Boil for just a little bit. Okay, these guys in the front here look golden brown delicious. So let's take them out. And get the heat off. Gosh, they look fascinating. I hope they'll show up on the camera. There's a lot of oil spatter on that back burner, so we're getting some smoking. But that should be fine. Right? just going to heat that until it sort of all hydrates up and turns into mashed potatoes. Add a little smidge more water. Check on your fried potatoes. They need another round. This will be the 4th round. I wish this would remember. The only problem I have with the air fryer, with the Magic Pot, is that the air fryer mode switches off as soon as you open the lid, and then when you switch back to it, it does not remember your settings. So you have to redo the settings every time. It's the only issue I have, which is frankly a minor issue. Let's see how these potatoes are. The potatoes are, of course, instant. They're okay. They're very garlicky. Wow. I wonder if the garlic flavor comes through in the breading. Because on their own, they're very garlicky. That pan is warm. As for how this is going to become a poutine, I'm going to moderately lie about it. Kind of the same way that I make a curry with no curry and a pizza with, you know, it's poutine in spirit. Okay, we need a big plate for this. And I still have these turkey necks, which we're not using for anything, I've decided, because I didn't end up using them for anything. I will have to pick them apart on my own time. Lots of gravy. I've got gravy. How's my gravy? The gravy has gone a little lumpy. Probably from having sat there for a minute. So we will remobilize the gravy and thin it with just a smidge more of our stock. Because the embarrassment of the last time I made poutine was that my gravy was bad. And I want my gravy to be nice and smooth and not lumpy at all. So we're going to tend to that until it's a nice, the perfect gravy. Yes. So what we're doing, once the French fries, once the potatoes come out of there, we're constructing a whole thing. That gravy is too thick. It did say, if you want thinner gravy, add more liquid. We have delicious liquid, so it's a shame to not use it. We went through the trouble of making our own stock. I'm adding all of it. I can always cook it down if I need it to be slightly thicker. The modified food starch, the thickeners that they put in this stuff, is a very good thickener. So it can handle me being a little aggressive here. 30 seconds on the potatoes. I'm really curious about these turkey strips. Got a message. Good time to post. Now, some of these would come out blurry. Ooh. I don't know that they need a full another round. Let's pull one of the paler ones. Let's pull one of these paler ones and see how they are. I think they do need a little bit more, but not a full another round. And I'm also going to take these guys and throw them in there with them, so that everything gets heated a little bit more. But the fries, that was 20 minutes in increments of 5 minutes. So we just need a quick blast, I think. Not even going to set the timer. I'm just going to turn it on and blast them. Because we want that to be hot going into this plate. I'm using the big plate. I'm making a feast. I'm hungry today. I'm surprised how hungry I am. Because I did not skimp out on lunch today in anticipation of this feast. But I guess subconsciously I must have eaten less than I thought I did, because the feast is going to be greatly enjoyed. So we don't need the breadcrumbs. We don't need the sugar. We have some cheese from Cadat, which is just up the road. My cranberries are looking pretty good. Giving them a quick mash with the spatula. Try to get rid of any egregious lumps. Okay. Oh, my gravy is boiling, which is not necessarily the best. Although I did say I wanted to boil off some of the liquid, so we will let it continue boiling until I need it. It'll help melt the cheese. It'll help make the cheese melty too if it's actively boiling hot when I put it on the thing. Okay. Stop the air fry. Give us a toss. Give us a toss. Let it resume for just a moment. And I think we're going to start assembling the plate because those guys will be ready in just a moment. Okay. Yeah, that gravy is going to be good, I think. The bubbles are coming fast and dense, but they're very like thick and gloopy. Okay, stop. Open. That like so. Cheese our curd it up. The cheese curds are at room temperature. I'm adding 2 more of our strips to the... No, I'm adding 1 more of our strips. With winter coming, winter's coming. With winter coming, we need hearty, stupid food like this. I did not let this cool off enough to re-thicken. Okay, we're gravied. We're add some mash. Why not? Add some mash. Gravy it. Okay, spoon, you got to stop sliding down. Other spoon. Put that on that side. There's nothing green, unfortunately. Some of our cranberry. Potato squash, turkey, gravy, cheese, cranberry, other kind of potato. Is that everything? Gravy up the middle a little more, make this really swimming. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's my plate. Let me go take a picture. We'll be back and we will dive in, tear it apart, and offend Canada. Brace yourselves, Canada. I'm coming for you. Okay. Whew. I definitely should have planned this out better. I felt very hectic at several points. But we made it. We made it. This is the finish line. And now we get to taste. The main event first. Need some pepper. Honestly, need a little salt too. We didn't salt any of our things in advance. We just trusted whatever salt was already in a few of our base ingredients. I think we started with low sodium. No, not low sodium. So there's definitely some salt in the broth. If you've never had poutine, I don't know that this is representative, but it's mighty tasty. Nice, fluffy French fries with a crispy exterior. Nice, squeaky cheese curds. They're extra squeaky because they get warmed up, and they're also a bit melty around the edges because they're on top of these just fried fries with this hot gravy poured on top. So they're squeaky, they're cheesy, they're melty. The delicata provides an interesting counter texture because the inside of each of these arcs is very tender, but the outside, the skin side, has gotten chewy, verging on crunchy. So it's a lot sturdier than even the crispy potato exteriors. Apparently, doing French fries from raw potatoes in the air fryer actually works. I did oil them quite substantially, but I didn't deep fry them. We got away with some olive oil. I'm very curious about these. This is just going to be mashed potatoes with gravy. This instant mash is not the best. But the garlic that I put in there before I used it as the breading just leaps out at it. It leaps out from it. Man, it's so good. Garlic mashed potatoes. Do that. Just if you got one take home from today's nonsense, put some garlic powder in your mashed potatoes. Doesn't have to be fresh garlic. Put some garlic powder in your mashed potatoes. Just jumps out at you. Very tasty. We got to find out about these turkeys. It's tender. Here, this is what I was hoping you'd be able to see, and I'm not sure if you can. Look at how the potato flakes have kind of all adhered on their edges, sort of pointing out. And the ones on the bottom got a little soggy as they sat, but the ones on the top have stayed like that. I don't know that I can... Actually, scratch that. I definitely can. I can definitely taste the potato in the breading. And the turkey's not dried out at all either, which is always a big risk with turkey white meat. But since we cook this just by itself, we have a low danger of that happening. The white meat of the turkey, squeaky cheese curd. The white meat of the turkey dries out, because you have to overcook it in order to cook the dark meat of the turkey properly when it is all in one thing. That's why nobody likes the white meat of the turkey. Well, everyone says it's dry because it's overcooked. They should be separated and cooked separately, because if you cook the breast properly, it is a juicy, tender piece of meat. If you take two things home from this, that's the second one. Don't overcook your turkey breast. That's why it's all ruined. This is fun. I wish they were a little bit crispier. They did not crisp up the way I think I thought they were going to. Perhaps a combination of this with panko for that crispiness would be a better thing instead of just the potato flake. Because the potato flakes, they look like they're going to be very crispy, but they don't bite very crispy. They definitely are very fragile and sort of soft. I also think I probably could have fried these a little bit longer even. They're cooked through. That's not the issue. I think the breading maybe could have stood a little bit more time to really hone in the crispiness. I did just go by color, which is a pretty good measure when you're deep frying stuff. This general sort of fried color is the color of it being done. But there's a lot of wiggle room there. It doesn't go right from this to burnt. So I wanted to include them. I didn't even taste my cranberry sauce. Let's taste that. Ooh, whoa! You can really taste the maple. Mmm. Oh, it's so mapley. Oh my! It's sour. It's sweet. It's tart, but it's like, bam! Maple slaps you upside the head with maple. I am surprised. It's got to be the maple extract, but I only added a tiny dash of it. Wow, it's very mapley without completely hiding the cranberry, which cranberry is a very assertive flavor. Having something sour, sweet and sour, to balance off the rest of this, which is a very starch forward, sort of heavy, greasy thing, is important for making your meal not just be a bomb, a gut bomb. At the last minute, I wanted to include these potatoes because somebody I watch on YouTube by the name of Keith Habersberger of the Try Guys, so he's super famous, insists that mashed potatoes are an ideal dip for chicken tenders. Now, I have turkey tenders, but, oh, and I have very dense mashed potatoes. I don't know that I'm sold on it. Although mine already tastes like potatoes because I put potato in the breading. So maybe I'm missing out on the revelation when it doesn't have potato already in it. I will say that these potatoes, despite there being a little bit of a weird texture, the flavor with that garlic in there is fabulous. And they're definitely not garlic flavor to begin with. If anything, they're supposed to be butter flavor to begin with. They're just instant mash. Also, I think that these guys are excellent with the gravy. I got some gravy on that bite. And, well, oh, and the gravy's thickened up too. We're we're just gonna douse this with the remainder of the gravy. The gravy cooled off a little bit and thus thickened up a little bit for superior gravy. Anyways, I think I'm just rambling now. Everything is quite good. This might be the best way I have cooked turkey in a long time. It does not taste like chicken tenders. You can tell it's turkey, but boy, it has such a nicer texture and it's juicy and delicious without being, you know, a giant slab of turkey. I don't know that deep frying is what you want to do on Thanksgiving, but I kind of get the deep fried turkey now. Although I would never do a whole one. Oh my God, that would take so long, and you're running the same risk of drying out the exterior. Doesn't sound good to me. But deep frying the parts of it is sounding a little more appealing than it once did. That fry oil looked like a disaster area. This potato flake has turned it into just a sediment in there. So that's going to be fun. I might just retire that oil. We've used it several times as it is, so it might just be time to retire that oil. Yeah. So I guess that's that. Happy Thanksgiving, Canada. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, Indigenous peoples. Sorry you were forgotten for so long and only recently got a day. Yeah. So that was hectic. That was hectic. I feel exhausted. Our internet worked great today. I have one little tiny blip that didn't seem to interrupt anything. I don't know if you guys even noticed it. I did because it keeps track of it for me. But otherwise, yeah. Thanks to all of you for showing up. Thanks to someone by the name of Canada who followed. That's a surprise. Yeah. I guess we're going to wrap it up and ship you guys off somewhere to enjoy more Canada. Canada? And I am going to attack this pile of food because I'm still quite hungry. What do we have on tap? Live feed from inside a food truck. That's interesting. There's somebody with my same bowl. What do we have on the gaming side? Oh, Miss Molly is cooking brownies. It's not on the gaming side, but it's on my follows side. Sure. We're gonna go raid. Flemish, we're literally raiding out. You're late. You're late. Welcome in. Hello. You really wanted to use that. I know, aren't they great? WeFormer did such a good work. There's the thing. There's the thing we made. I can tell you about it in the last minute here. We have roast squash, French fries, cheese curds, turkey gravy, mashed potatoes, more turkey gravy, deep fried turkey tenders with gravy, and this is a maple cranberry sauce. And it is so mapley. There's process pictures in the Discord, which I pinned at the top. So you can go back and look at things that you might have missed, if you care to. Also the glamour shot photo, which I might take another one because the gravy looks nicer after it cooled off a little bit, will also be there. It tastes great. We're rating Miss Molly Makes, who is currently making brownie orders, which suggests it's going to be a lot of brownies. Um, so we're going to go say hi. We haven't been there in a long time. I did raid her in the past. Um, Pop up. Say bye real quick. Bye.